Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nightflame, and today I'm going to bring you a relaunch of my channel. It's been a while, to be honest, more than 10 years I think, ever since I dropped a YouTube video. I used to make YouTube comic reviews like 10 years ago. I would do it for every single comic I read, and I left the videos just so you guys can see it. Definitely, the budget was $5, a shaky camera, and a dream. But ever since then, I kind of left it alone because it never took off, obviously. But I always wanted to get back to it. It was always my goal to get back into it. I kind of gave up comics for a little bit once I went into college just because it wasn't cutting it. I didn't have the funds to be able to get my comic books weekly. So I stopped reading it for a while, and then I would go back to them once in a while. Ever since I heard like a big book was coming out, I would try to pick it up, or if it was like a milestone issue, I would try to go to the comic book store. But besides that, I never kept up on a weekly basis. So earlier last year, like around June, I got back into comics again. I was trying to find a hobby just because, I always jump from hobby to hobby, and I started reading some of my older issues, and I was like, wow, like I'm back into it again. So I went to my comic book shop. I got situated on what was happening. It took me a couple of months to be able to be caught up on everything, just because a lot of the issues for Marvel and DC, they're kind of at like the 40th issue, more so DC than Marvel, but Marvel likes to continue their stories as well from like previous volumes. So I went to the comic book store, got situated, got a lot of trade paperbacks, as you'll see in the back, and started catching up on what I missed. So I'm happy to be able to be caught up now. I want to be able to create a community again, or be part of the comic book community. I love joining the Discords, giving my opinion on things, and hopefully you guys are able to enjoy my content. I'm going to give you I guess a different perspective. I don't know. There's a lot of people, cool people that do comic book reviews, and I love their perspective as well. So I just want to put in my 2 cents, I guess, into the hat. So thank you for bearing with me. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content that I'm giving. To start off, I think I'm going to do like comic book hauls and then comic book reviews. And from then we'll see if we could do something else, but should be fun. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be just a fun journey. I'm excited to be able to edit videos, to make videos, and to do all of that. It's fun. I love just hearing the opinion of other people as well. So feel free to comment, regarding any of the books I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna try to make this quick because I'd be yapping. So yeah, let's start off with the haul this week. So I'll try to release this video on like Friday or Saturday. I order my books from Discount Comic Book Service. So sometimes I get my books on Friday. Sometimes I get my books on Saturday. So depending on when they arrive, I'll make the video. It's a big pile. And the reason why I do Discount Comic Book Service is because of the price. I find it's more cheaper for me to get it through them, just because I order like a big volume of books and they have bigger discounts. Meanwhile, if I were to get this at the comic book store, I would probably be wasting a good amount of money each week. So thank you to them for always being on time and for always giving me books in good quality. We'll get into that, but first I wanted to show you guys what I got for my trade paperback collection, or I guess my graphic novel collection. So I got a big amount of books right here. During Free Comic Book Day, I noticed that the Jim Lee Absolute books were released. I wasn't able to get them that day from my comic book shop. I kind of waited a little. So I ordered that online last week, and I finally got them in. So all three of them are right here. Let me showcase them real quick. Absolute Wonder Woman. She looks so good. Superman looks awesome as well. And I love these hardcovers. I've been obsessed with hardcovers. I just like how they're just durable. Trade paperbacks, if you read them a lot, they kind of start showing wear and tear really fast, but these stay constant. So I'm planning on getting all the Absolute books on trade on graphic novels as they come out, and I think the X-Men books, I'm going to start off with the Age of Krakoa. I have an omnibus coming in hopefully next week, so I can start getting caught up in the X-Men, but we also got Martian Manhunter as well. This is just the regular standard volume 1 hardcover, but like I said, I've been trying to collect all the Absolute books in a graphic novel format, so just figured I could start off with these. I'm going to start buying the volume 2s for Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman soon, and then we'll get them as they come out. So awesome. Now we can discuss this week's books. So Real quick, I'm gonna show you some variants I got. I went to Third Eye Comics this week to pick up one of my variant covers for Absolute Batman 20, and while I was there, I picked up a variant as well for an Image book. So, first, I'm gonna show off some exclusives from Third Eye Comics. This one's for issue number 19. This is a Kelly Jones variant with Scarecrow. As you can see, looks super dope. I just love how she draws horror things. She's known for like Swamp Thing, I believe, but yeah, this one's dope. The design for Scarecrow is so peak. Like, it is so peak. And then this was their issue 20 variant by James Stocco. He's the artist for this, and this is focusing on Dick Grayson, so super dope. Let me put those on the side. And while I was picking up issue 20's cover, I saw this variant that they had on the floor for If Destruction Be Our Lot. This came out last weekend from Image, or last week. It's written by Matthew Rosenberg with art by Andrew McDonald, I believe. This is cool just because it's kind of set in DC. Not the book itself, but this variant. One of the main characters of this book is Abe Lincoln, like a robot version of him. So I thought this was really cool that he was getting out of the monument in DC. And yeah, this just feels like it's meant for us, right? Like the people who are natives to the DMV area. I live in Virginia, so this hits really close home. And I was like, yeah, I have to have it. Because the book was really good. So if you guys haven't picked up that issue, go to your comic store and pick it up because it's so good. Okay. Let's start off with Absolute Batman. I went overboard for sure. You saw those books that I got from the variants, but I kind of went overboard as well with the regular open order variants. As you'll see, I got a bunch of copies. So if you guys have heard about this, there were some issues with like the printing that happened. I think DC had an issue with Lunar, and Lunar printed a lot of their books with damages on the spine. We never saw pictures, but a lot of comic book retailers were complaining, saying that it's unacceptable and blah, blah, blah. To be honest, and maybe I just got lucky, I did not see the damage they were saying, but I also did not get any regular cover. I got a bunch of the cardstock variants, which I like because obviously with shipping and everything, they're a little bit more durable. And I do not see any spine damage at all, actually. So maybe I just got lucky, but you know, regardless, I feel like the actual comic fans, they wouldn't care. The people who are trying to get that 9.8 CGC grading, obviously they'll care. But yeah, I can't complain, and I'll show you real quick of what I got in terms of variants, just because I don't want to make this video long. I think this is Fabrizio De Tommaso, super cool. This is Chris Anka, one of my favorite artists. Just love how he draws. Just his art style is so distinct, and the way that he draws anything is just dope to me. And then these are the Robin focused ones. I didn't get the Duke and Stephanie ones just because they didn't have it at my shop, and I completely didn't order it when I made my first initial order. But I got the Tim Drake one by Javier Rodriguez from Martian Manhunter. And then the Nick Robles one, the Absolute Flash artist. And Q Young Yum, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He does a lot of variants for Poison Ivy, a lot of retail exclusives. I haven't seen him draw like male characters in a while, and this one is super dope. This one is Dick Grayson. So those are the Absolute Batman covers. I read issue 20 already. I'm going to leave my thoughts for the review just because there's a lot to be said about that book. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, I'll definitely spoil it all in my review. So be on the lookout for that video. Okay, so real quick, we'll go through the other issues that I got. I got Ghost Pepper, issue number 11. Really, really great series. Very much anime vibes. If you guys are into manga, if you love anime, definitely start this from issue number 1. The world building on this is crazy. Ludo Lullaby, he pulls double duty, artist and writer, and he's been killing it. Really, really good book. I don't think it like gets its flowers that much. People should be discussing it more for sure. Another book that I think is very under the radar is Bleeding Hearts, issue number 4. Dennis Camp has become one of my favorite writers in recent time. He actually kind of got me back into comics. Assorted Crisis Events, I don't know if you guys have read that series, but that's one of the series that to me, genuinely, like, I consider it like the top. It is so good. I've never been moved to tears ever by like any issue, but some of the issues in assorted crisis events, I'm like, I cannot even tell you. So Dennis Camp, yeah, he's just a great writer, and he's been reinventing zombies, which is crazy because we've been oversaturated with the zombie content for like years. But he found a way to kind of tell a zombie story through like a brand new perspective and like with a kind of a new twist. So super dope. I'm excited to see this, and I love this little operation thing that's going on. Okay, this one's a dope cover. Black Cat, issue number 10. This was initially supposed to be the final issue, but I believe it got extended to issue 14. It's been a fun series. J. Willow Wilson is bringing the energy that she brought to Poison Ivy to this book, and it's been good. I'm excited for it. I feel like it definitely gives us something unique in the Spider-Man corner of the Marvel Universe, especially now that a lot of the titles that they had kind of ended. This one it's a nice little change. This is the penultimate issue of Magic and Colossus, issue number 4. This is the Nogi-san variant. Ashley Allen, who's the writer of this book, she's been writing Magic for quite a while now. So it's nice to see her continue writing Magic. But I also like seeing Colossus because I feel like Colossus doesn't really show up a lot. I think he played a big part during the Age of Krakoa, but I haven't seen him since, and it's good to see him in a book in a monthly basis. So I've been enjoying that. I actually been enjoying this as well. People have been hating, but this is Ultimate Endgame, issue number 4. The only disappointing thing about this is the fact that it's been delayed so much. I believe this was supposed to come out like 3 months ago, I think. And we haven't gotten issue number 5, but next week we're getting like the Reborn, which doesn't make sense because Reborn was supposed to come out after issue number 5. But I guess Marvel doesn't care anymore. They're just trying to get this over with, which sucks. Their new focus is that Midnight thing coming in August, which is also helmed by Jonathan Hickman. I'm excited for it, but at the same time, I'm a little bit scared because Jonathan Hickman, he's known for starting off really, really good, and then he concludes in kind of like a bummer, like in a low note, right? So I'm optimistic because I like horror and I like the horror elements that they teased when they announced it. But if this is their response to the Absolute Universe, let's be honest, it's not going to be as exciting as they think it is. I personally feel like they really should have gone all out with the Ultimate Universe. There were so many cool characters in that book that were so different from the main universe that I think they could have really just focused on. But for whatever reason, I think the main reason was they had promised Jonathan Hickman that they were going to end it when he wanted to. So I guess that makes sense, but you know, they really kind of have to catch up with DC at this point because DC's been killing it. So we'll see how that book goes, but I mean, I'm excited. I've been enjoying it, so I can't say I'm not excited. Another book I've been enjoying, it's Null, issue number 5. I don't know much of the character because I wasn't reading comics when the Venom War happened, but he has been really cool to me, at least in these past 4 issues. I've thoroughly enjoyed this book. I think the art here is incredible. The coloring as well just makes it seem so cinematic. So love the art in this book. The writing has been really good as well. You can never go wrong with Al Ewing. Ewing? Sorry if I butchered your name, but yeah, he's an incredible writer. He does such great comics. He's been doing Venom, which is one of my favorites, and he's also been doing Absolute Green Lantern. And in both books, peak. So this Null, I've also been enjoying. I'm excited to see how this leads up to Queen in Black, which is the next event, and we'll see how it goes. So hopefully it lands and we get a great conclusion on that miniseries. Next is this one-shot, Spider-Man and Venom, issue number 1. That spiral body count. Cool variant here by Paulo Siqueira. We can see Tortman grabbing Spider-Man and Venom. I'm excited for this book. I was disappointed with last week's issue of Amazing Spider-Man just because it completely dropped whatever happened with that spiral. Like, it wasn't talking about it, right? It felt like he just brushed it off and was like, yeah, I fought Torment. But in reality, like, it was more intense than how he made it seem. So I'm disappointed with Amazing Spider-Man, but hopefully this book is able to give me the closure that I feel like Amazing Spider-Man should have given us last week. Super excited for this one. This is Barbara Gordon Breakout issue number one. This awesome David Nakayama variant. So I'm a huge Barbara Gordon fan. This is my Batgirl because when I read comics in the New 52, she was the Batgirl. So I know a lot of people are fans of Cassandra. They love Stephanie Brown, but to me, Barbara is like the top female character in the Batman universe. I'm excited for her to finally be in the field. Granted, she's in prison, but I'm glad that we're able to focus on her now and really show what she's able to bring to the Bat family. And hopefully, Mariko Tamaki can make her stand out like how I was able to see her in the New 52. And hopefully, she's able to get some new fans because she truly deserves it. So, excited for this book. And that's Barbara Gordon Breakout, issue number one. Let's keep going. Next is Absolute Martian Manhunter, issue number 11. Penultimate issue for this. We got this awesome Mike Del Mundo variant. There's not much to say about this besides that it's really good. It's written by Dennis Camp again, so love anything he does. I will say though that this book reads better in trade. If you have like volume 1 and then volume 2, which should be out soon, it definitely reads better like that, just because there's so much things that are thrown at you. And it's so distinct the way that you read it. I feel like it's better to read it back to back to back. The 1 month gaps kind of make it hard to remember what happened last issue. So that's why I recommend a graphic novel. I think it reads better like that. And one thing that I will say about Marvel that I like their like 1-page summary. DC really should start bringing that into all their books. I think they do it in some books, but they need to start bringing that into all the books because 1 month, as I get older, I start forgetting and I start thinking like what happened last issue. So I really appreciate those 1-page summary for Marvel books. And I think DC should do that as well. Next is Transformers issue number 32, another David Nakayama variant. This looks better in like person. I think the black kind of makes it not look good in camera, but super cool cover here. Robert Kirkman has been killing it. If you guys read that Energon special, there's some really cool things planned for this book, and I'm excited. I'm excited about the Energon universe. I've never been a Transformers fan like that because I grew up with the Michael Bay films, unfortunately. But this has really turned me around on Transformers as a whole, and I've been actually digging into like the old cartoons and that movie that came out I think 2 years ago from Paramount, the one that's called I think Transformers 1. That one was really good as well. So, the book has done wonders for the Transformers brand. Next is a book that I might end up dropping. I'm kind of on the fence about this. It's Geiger, issue number 23. It's not that I don't like the book. I do like the book. I just feel like the Ghost Machine books have a momentum problem. The way that they're released ever so often, like, not ever so often, they're released on a weird schedule. It's not like monthly basis. They have huge gaps. I think the only consistent one is Redcoat, which you'll see here. But Geiger, I think, has taken some breaks. Hyde Street has taken huge breaks, and then Rook Exodus, like, that takes a hiatus every single time it comes back. So I like what Jeff Johns is doing in his little corner, but I do think that there's a momentum problem. It would be way better if we got this on like a monthly basis. Not specifically this book, right? But the other titles I just mentioned. Just because it would do so much more to grow the universe. It feels like we just get little pieces here and there. And unfortunately, with like the Energon going on, it really just falters against those other universes that are being created. So hopefully this book can change my mind because I do love the creators involved, but I do think there's a momentum problem for sure because of the releasing schedule. Another book that I'm super excited about, and I just read an article that they said that this has been extended from 6 issues to 9. So the fan support has definitely changed the trajectory of this book, which I'm super excited about because issue number 1 was so good. I'm glad you all showed up for it. Definitely keep showing it love because potentially it could become an ongoing, right? If it shows enough sales and the interest is there, Scott Snyder has said, they can always promote a book to an ongoing. So hopefully that can happen. But regardless, I'm excited for this book. It's been fun. I mean, granted, we only got 1 issue, but that issue did a lot in setting up and kind of making people excited for a character that has been here for ages, right? So hopefully Jeff Lemire can keep reinventing him, but I'm excited for the Fury of Firestorm issue number 2. Okay, real quick, we got a couple more. Next is Iron Man issue number 5. It kind of got stuck together. Right here with this cool Ryan Stegman cover. This is written by Joshua Williamson. The regular artist is Carmen Carnero, but we get Jan Basualdua, who's doing some pages, I believe, of art here. We'll see. This has been a little bit forgettable just because it's still in that setup phase. I do think it'll start tying into like Armageddon and all those other things in the coming months, but it has definitely not left a long-lasting impact, right? Like some of these other books. So hopefully Josh Williamson is able to turn it around, and I do have hope for him just because he's a great writer. He's responsible for a lot of the books I love, so hopefully he's able to get us more excited for this book. So that is Iron Man issue number 5. Next is Uncanny X-Men issue number 28. This Paco Medina variant. This is written by Gail Simone. And the art duties are split between David Marquez and Luciano Vecchio. Luciano is doing the art for this story arc, and this revolves around the Outlier kids. Something happened and they switched places with the New Mutants. So it's been fun. It's actually been very fun, to be honest, especially in comparison to the other X-Men books. X-Men United and the other X-Men book, the main X-Men title, they're doing their thing. I'm not particularly a fan. I think, to me, X-Men United I'm more on the fence about, just because of the damage that it's done to Cyclops as a character. The last 2 issues have felt so just out of place in terms of characterization. But yeah, we'll definitely talk about that next week when that book comes out. But just to get back on track, Uncanny X-Men, it's been fun. Like I said, Gail Simone, she has a good viewpoint when she writes younger characters, so I've been enjoying the Outliers, but at the same time, I do think that the focus goes on them too much than like the regular cast, right? I feel like we should be alternating between story arcs, and we should kind of focus on like Rogue, Nightcrawler, and Gambit at some point, but that's just me. Besides that, I do think this is the best X-Men book on the stands, to be honest. So that's Uncanny X-Men issue number 28. Next is Emperor Aquaman issue number 17. This has been fun ever since DCKO concluded and Aquaman got like new powers and a new mission. This has been really fun, and I'm excited now to see Black Manta get into the picture because we haven't seen him in quite a while. John Timms is one of the artists for this book, and initially I was like, I'm not feeling his art, but with the last 2 issues I was like, wow, like I'm kind of really digging it. So super excited for this. I love Black Manta, so I just want to see how he gets involved into this story arc. Next is Action Comics issue number 1098. We're almost at 1100, the anniversary issue. Super cool cover here by Ryan Sook, where we see Superboy teaming up with Martian Manhunter, Booster Gold, and Miss Marvel? Mary Marvel. Mary Marvel. But this book has been fun. If you guys haven't been reading this, essentially for a couple story arcs, it has been focused on a younger version of Kal-El. So Superman, like from years ago, and it focuses on like his first years operating as Superboy, I guess. And initially it felt out of place. It felt like we were just giving it an origin story, but now we're tying it into what's happened past DCKO, right? These 3 characters, they're looking for the present Superman because he's disappeared after DCKO, and somehow through time travel they end up with the younger version of Superman, right? So they're trying to operate in this timeline and make sure they don't mess anything up by giving too much information away. So it's been fun. I genuinely like it. I'm glad we're able to pull what we've been doing in the first couple of story arcs, and now it feels like it's in continuity. So that's Action Comics 1098. Next is Captain America issue number 11. It feels like we've been getting this on a weekly basis, which I'm not complaining about. Last two issues have been great. It's been honestly the best setup series for Armageddon. Better than Weapons of Armageddon, which is that Wolverine series. This one has been doing wonders to set Armageddon up. So hopefully we continue this issue. It looks like Superman. Captain America is going to be fighting a bunch of Hulks, and especially Red Hulk. So we'll see what happens there, but definitely pick this up. It's been super, super good. Next is Supergirl, issue number 13. I wasn't supposed to pick up this issue. I wanted to drop it after last month's issue, but since I ordered this ahead, I went ahead and got it. I do love the cover, though, by Matteo Scalera. Looks really good. But this feels a little too family-friendly for me. Like, it feels like it's an all-ages book, more aimed towards, like, younger kids or maybe potential fans of the Supergirl TV show that we had a couple years ago. I haven't been enjoying it like that. Hopefully this issue is able to turn it around for me, but I will be dropping it, and I think I'll be picking it up again once we get that crossover event for the Superman series. But yeah, the art for this is good. Josie Campbell, who is the writer and artist of this book, she's been doing a great job, but like I said, I don't think I'm the intended target audience for this. Next, we get a couple of Image books. This is Blood and Thunder, issue number 13. If you guys haven't been reading this, definitely pick this up. It's been a fun series as well. It's from the mind of Robert Kirkman, but Benito Sereno is the writer for this. He's been working a lot with Robert Kirkman. I think he also took over Capes as the main writer as well, now that we're ongoing that series. But yeah, he's been doing a great job, and I've been enjoying Blood and Thunder. And I think it's definitely like an under the radar series for sure. This one is not under the radar. People have been loving it, and rightfully so. This is Dork, issue number 4. I got the Scotty Young variant here. I thought this was going to be goofy. I thought it was going to be kind of like I Hate Fairyland. But surprisingly, it has a lot of heart. It's really smart comedy. I love what they're doing with the series. It feels like it has a direction that it's going towards. No complaints here. Been loving this series. And that's Dork, issue number 4. Okay. Last couple of issues. These were the ones I picked up from my comic book store, so I already read them. I'm not going to say much about them just because I'll wait until my comic book review. But we're going to start off with Brand New Day, The Spectacular Spider-Man, issue number 1. I wasn't supposed to pick this up, and I really, really wanted that Patrick Gleason cover, the one where he's unmasked. But I ended up getting this one. I like it, the cover at least. But yeah, it's a miniseries that takes place after Brand New Day, and we'll just leave it at that, and I'll give you my thoughts on the review. Then I got Spawn, issue 375. Had no business picking this up, but Matthew Rosenberg is going to be the main writer starting in issue 376. So hopefully he makes it new reader friendly, but we did see a couple of teaser pages from him in this book, which I'll talk about during the review as well. And then last but not least, Something is Killing the Children, issue number 47. I have actually just started reading this book. I picked up the trade paperback for this, and I believe I'm in issue number 27 now. So a couple more issues to go before I can officially review this. I haven't even read this specific issue, obviously, because I'm not caught up. But this series is so good. If you guys haven't read it, definitely buy it. I think it's on sale on Amazon, for 50% off, I think. So definitely check it out. It's such a good series. It really is. If you love horror, pick this up. I believe it's also getting adapted to a movie soon by Blumhouse. So I'm super, super excited. It's just such a really good story. The world building is crazy. I'm in issue number 27, 28 right now. And so far, no issues have been bad. So I'm really excited for this issue. The only thing that I'm a little disappointed about is that I heard that it's been released every few months. So the releasing schedule for this definitely needs some work. So hopefully James Tynion and Werther Dell'Edera are able to get this back on track, and hopefully we're able to see this more on a monthly basis. But That's been my haul for this week. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for watching. If you were one of my previous subscribers, this is going to be fun. I'm excited to do my review show as well. It's going to be great reviewing the books, and let me know what you guys picked this week up from the comic book shop. And yeah, leave a like, subscribe, comment, and hype this video up. I'll see you all on the next video.